Welcome in to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. Let's get rock hard. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another edition of Rock Hard Ball. Got episode 43 on deck for you today. Got a hell of a game going on Thursday Night Football right now. Got a comment already here from Sam on Twitter here. Magical snow game, and magical indeed. It feels like we're truly hitting the ground.
Looks like a snow globe.
Yeah, it looks super sick on TV. First snow game of the year, and it's coming out hard. So kind of fun to watch there on Thursday Night Football.
Is there anything more magical than Jameis in the snow?
No, there's not. But yeah, it's really coming down there in Cleveland.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah, that's as we say that.
That goes right.
Yeah, good timing there. But Browns up 10-3, so we'll keep an eye on that as we go on with the show. But that being said, let's take a look at what we got on deck for today. College Football Week 13 preview, NFL Week 12 preview. We have Rock Hard Takes on there. We're actually switching that. It's just going to be Rock Hard Bets today instead of takes, and then Kelly's Kinky Rankings. And then going forward, we were actually discussing it today before the show. I think we're going to start doing Rock Hard Takes on Mondays, and then Thursdays will just be Rock Hard Bets. That way, can kind of shorten the episodes a little bit, and then maybe make the Rock Hard Takes a little bit more well thought out, get a little bit more creative with the ideas, do a little bit more prep for them, stuff like that. So it's not so kind of all over the place with Rock Hard Takes. So yeah, we got Rock Hard Bets today instead of Rock Hard Takes. And of course, like I said, finishing up with Kelly's Kinky Rankings. So that's what we got on deck today. Should put Magical Snow Game on there too. Messed up, I guess. But anyways, that being said, first things first, we'll get going with the College Football 13 preview. So some big games this week that are going to really have some big time playoff implications. But then in the other spots, we got some buys basically. Clemson plays the Citadel this week, I think.
Florida State's going to get a big win.
South Carolina playing Wofford.
See that line? They play like a 1-10 FCS school. They're favored by 34. So shout out Florida State.
Yeah, maybe they'll get their second win of the season. Anyways, starting from the top, UNLV versus San Jose State. UNLV could maybe still be in play for the group of 5 spot, because I believe they are most likely on pace to meet Boise State in the Mountain West Conference Championship game. I would assume their only loss is to Boise State.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They lost to Syracuse.
Yeah, they have 2 losses.
Conference standings. Okay, Colorado State's also still undefeated. So I don't know who they play to finish out the year. They play Fresno State and Utah State. So I don't know how that's going to shake out, but UNLV could still be in play to make the Mountain West Conference Championship game. If they were to get there and beat Boise State, then I have to assume that they'd have a good argument for getting that group of 5 spots. Obviously, things get hairy if that happens, because Boise State obviously is in full control right now. But you have Tulane now, who is, I believe, ranked like 20th in the country. And then you have Army still as well, sitting at 19. They're playing Notre Dame this week, which, of course, we'll get to, but that could change things as well. But UNLV looking to keep winning and at least give themselves a chance to get into that conference championship game and maybe see if they can make something happen and get a playoff spot. Indiana and Ohio State. That game's on Friday, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. But Indiana and Ohio State is the big game of the weekend. And, of course, we get to watch it at 11 a.m. thanks to big new kickoff.
Shout out Fox.
Yeah, shout out Fox. Ohio State's going to be favored by 10.5. It's number 5 at number 2. Obviously, this is a game that has a lot of people's attention because for some reason there's a real discourse out there that if Indiana gets blown out in this game, they miss the playoff. Weezy and I both agree clearly that we don't think that should be even a thing that we have to discuss. However, we also did, recognize and make the point that if they do get stomped in this game, there is a very realistic chance that they'll leave them out because the playoff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've seen both sides of Twitter now, like the discourse between them. And it's just funny, right? Because you have SEC beat reporters, how are you going to let in a team that has 0 quality wins? Then you have the others that are like, all right, so let's just SEC play your schedule and then just claim your national champion, because that's how they act, right? No, I don't think they're going to leave them out, but if they get routed, they're going to give them the last possible seed possible.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can leave them out under any circumstance, no matter what happens. We're also kind of forgetting Penn State. Yeah, the game was close, but Penn State still lost. They lost at home to Ohio State. This is on the road at Ohio State. So I mean, I feel like a 15, 20-point loss for Indiana at Ohio State has to be treated the same as Penn State's loss at home.
Yeah, I think anything under 28, to be honest with you.
To be treated the same as Penn State's loss, or What do you mean by under 20? I mean
Anything under 28, I don't think it's a conversation that they get in.
Yeah.
If it gets to like 30, 40 point, like if they lose like 56-7, there might actually be a situation that could happen.
Now here's I guess kind of a different way to look at it. Do you think Ohio State, as kind of the team who's been kind of the leader of the Big Ten Conference for a lot of years, it's been mostly Ohio State and Michigan are definitely the main two schools that people think of as driving the Big Ten forward, I guess, if you want to say. Do they kind of think in terms of like helping the conference, if they get up by a lot, like early second half, do they maybe pull the hit the brake a little bit to make sure it doesn't get too ugly so that Indiana doesn't get hurt too bad by it?
No, I mean, first, I don't even think it's possible. Like, and this is obviously Ohio State's what are they, 2 or 3? 2. Who have they beaten bad outside of Purdue? Nobody.
Nobody, probably, yeah. Northwestern, I guess, if you want to count that. That's even that, though, still.
They won by 31.
Yeah.
Like, and that's.
No, not even 31. It's 24. But.
So you go, like, the chances of them winning by 40 are negative.
Yeah.
So I'm saying if, rarely they do stomp them, it's possible. But I don't see Ohio State stomping them at all.
No, I think also, like, the whole Indiana conversation, we're all acting like Indiana's just like a horrible team. Like, they're obviously not, like, bad. Like, I mean, Nebraska lost to Ohio State by one touchdown, and they got killed, obliterated by Indiana.
But then the same thing is like Indiana, for the first time ever to go 10-0 at home against a bad Michigan team, probably should have lost that game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's week-to-week basis. I don't know how I feel about Indiana. Because you're right, though. Against Nebraska, I thought, holy shit, like this is a true contender.
Yeah.
And then I watched them play Michigan. I think maybe they're not.
I think Ohio State's probably going to win this game by like 2 touchdowns, maybe 3. But the spread is going to be Ohio State 10.5, according to ESPN Bet. I like probably Ohio State to cover, but at the same time, you really just never know. Indiana can make it interesting.
You don't.
Miami's going to play Wake Forest at home. It's kind of a non-starter for me. I mean, Miami should win. They're favored by 24, but who the hell knows them?
No, they'll go down 15. They'll go down 15. We'll see if they can pull it out of their ass.
Yeah. Ole Miss playing Florida could be an interesting game. Ole Miss is favored by 11.5. Florida, we talked a little bit about on Monday, has gotten things not necessarily back on track. I mean, they're still 2-2 in their last 4 games, but they just beat an LSU team that they just basically eliminated LSU from playoff contention with that win. If they were even in it at that point,
fully wrecked their team.
Yeah, fully wrecked their team. And then like they competed with Georgia. They kind of compete with Texas. They beat Kentucky a few weeks back, who's beaten some good teams this week. Florida's not the same mess they were earlier in the season. I guess I'll put it that. That's probably the best way to put it. So, as we talk about this, all these SEC teams are going to try and wait and get in at 2 losses. Ole Miss, you can't suffer a third. And, that eliminates you.
No, because the whole, like, we have to run the table.
Like, it's going to start coming down to how did you win? Like, if we had to decide between multiple 10-2 teams at the end of the year.
Yeah, and obviously, like you talked about, like it's all over social media. The whole like, oh, we need to run the table like discourse, like the memes of Jackson Darping, Anakin Skywalker, and then they go and they beat Georgia, storm the field. This would be the ultimate game where Lane Kiffin just has an ultimate letdown, and they lose to this Florida team to pretty much bounce them. I think it's very real. I think it's a very big trap game.
Next one, we got SMU on the road to Virginia. SMU, another team who has gotten
rolling
like little to no respect really in the playoff rankings. That's been another big discourse, like with the whole SEC teams talking about whatever strength of schedule and blah blah blah. It's like SMU's only loss is like obviously looks slightly worse now that BYU just lost to Kansas, but still only losses to a top 15 team in the country. And other than that, they've won every game that they've played in, which is about all you can ask a team to do. And then like you look at a team like Texas, like they're 1 loss to Georgia, but what are their quality wins? Vanderbilt and Arkansas. Like we're getting a lot of brand and conference bias going on right now.
100%.
Which obviously we know we're going to get, but it is just unfortunate. SMU, if they go to 11-1 and they lose in the ACC championship game, like they get left out. I think.
Yeah, they 100% do.
It sucks for them because really they probably shouldn't, but they will.
They shouldn't. They will. It's also at the same point. It's like it goes back to the same situation of like, but we also don't know like these SEC and Big Ten teams are just better.
No, I know, and I will never deny that. But it's just, at the same time, it's like you said with like all the SEC fans that are talking about it. Like, there's what the hell of playing the regular season if we're just going to declare that next.
Especially, it's like we expanded it to 12. We expanded it to
10.
12 for this reason.
Yeah, because it was just Big Ten versus SEC every year.
Yes,
with like the occasional whatever Oklahoma, TCU, and those teams just lose out in the first round. Yeah. And so we expanded it to at least give those other teams a chance. There's even some people like on Twitter and stuff saying now that if it really does come down to it, where it's like if Indiana gets stomped and gets left out at 11-1, or we get like an SMU who rolls through their whole schedule except for a 3-point loss to BYU, and then maybe loses in a very close, well played game against Miami in the ACC championship game and gets left out, then if we truly want to be fair, then we just go to a system where you let in like 3 teams from the top 3 teams from each conference, because otherwise there's just no point.
Why don't we just go to 64? That
might be a little excessive. That might be too much.
No, but yeah, you're right. I don't know. It's still just a cluster. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, still a lot of games left to be played. A lot of stuff can happen these last 2 weeks. So I guess we probably shouldn't get too into it, but still. Illinois is going to play Rutgers on the road. Rutgers favored by 1 in this game. I can kind of get it, like it's at home, stuff like that. But Illinois has been, I think, the better team than Rutgers this year. So we'll talk about it in bets, but I think Illinois wins this game on the road. So I don't know what your thoughts are, but
oh no, I'm kind of just done betting on Illinois. Done it twice, killed me twice. They take care of business earlier in the year. They really haven't lately. I don't know what to think about this team. So I mean, this game I wouldn't touch. But Rutgers at home. Rutgers is fully healthy again, right? Or
I think so. No, I was gonna say. I mean, Illinois, back to that. It's their 2 losses are on the road to Penn State, and then on the road to Oregon, and then they have that one to Minnesota by 8 at home, which that one's not a great loss, obviously. But the other 2 losses, it's you can't really blame them. So I still think they've had very much better year than any of us thought. I believe you and I both thought that they'd be middle of the pack at best in the Big Ten. So definitely a better year than they should have had. Rutgers 6-4 on the year. They're actually sitting about exactly where I would have expected coming into the season. I mean,
I think I don't know if you did. I know I for sure had them as a sleeper. They could do well, just who they were trying, and they look good. Obviously, they started 4-0, then dropped 4. No, I mean they bounced back though. So yeah, I could see why this is 2.5 points.
Georgia has their bye week against UMass. Tennessee has their bye week against UTEP. Texas playing Kentucky this week at home. They're favored by 20. I mean, theoretically, yes, Texas should be able to beat Kentucky by 20. But we've seen already this year that Kentucky can compete and even beat some of these better teams. So it'd be interesting to see how Texas handles them, and if it's maybe closer than comfortable. This Kentucky lost to Georgia by 1. They beat Ole Miss on the road. They've also had games where they've lost to Florida by 4 touchdowns. They've lost to Auburn by 2 touchdowns, who hasn't been that great this year. They're 1-5 in conference. Their only win being over Kentucky. Kentucky, 1-6 overall in the conference. So obviously, they can push top tier teams, but at the same time, they can really falter. So I don't know what's your kind of read on this game. You think Texas takes care of business, or does Kentucky make things interesting?
I think Texas takes care of business outside of literally only that Georgia game, which this Georgia team that's hot and cold depending on the week. They've gotten killed by almost every superior SEC team. Texas is one. Texas, I think, bounced back, and we look at Texas maybe in a new light after this game. I don't know, because obviously in the media generally it's been pretty negative, as of late. So big win for Texas, I think.
Yeah, I feel like the whole Texas thing, most of their negativity is coming from the fact that they just it's the same reason that Indiana's gotten some hate. It's they just don't really have a lot of big wins on their schedule. You look back, they were supposed to have some very big games. On the road to Michigan, Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry. Obviously, they had lost to Georgia by 15, which was a bad loss. They went on the road to Vanderbilt, barely snuck a win out. So, yeah, Texas has been a little bit hot and cold as well this year. They haven't really made a statement at any point, but they're still ranked 3 in the country. And I think that's where most of the negativity comes from. If Texas was ranked 9, I don't think people would really care. They'd be Texas has been solid, they won their games. But I think it's the fact they're rated as a top.
Yeah, obviously, in the media, to the point, why they're ranked 3 is they look at that Michigan win as a huge win. Clearly, dating back, it's not. They don't have many of them.
Yeah.
So,
quick comment here. Peter Porker said stash looks impeccable.
So. Thanks, Peter.
Looks like you're looking good, Weez. Got the Movember going. Clyde, you got a little stash going too?
Yeah, since Halloween.
Yeah, Clyde's got a stash going too. So, Anyways, back to the games. Penn State's on the road at Minnesota. They're favored by 11.5. Obviously, coming into the year, we thought this would be a slouch game. Like you don't got to worry about it. Should beat Minnesota, but Minnesota's been more impressive than people would have thought this year. Obviously, they lost to Michigan close on the road. They had a bad game against Iowa, but they've beaten USC, UCLA. Again, they had that win against Illinois, and they lost to Rutgers last week by a touchdown. But they've been interesting at least. Be kind of interesting to see if Penn State is a little bit uncomfortable this week against.
I think they are, and I hope they are. I mean, Penn State is still just not a good football team. I don't care who they've played, who they've lost to. I will never trust Drew Aller. It's November. People still believe in Drew Aller. They're going to get in and lose. It's rinse and repeat. 12-team is just the biggest ally to James Franklin. Like, at what point? Because now they're probably just going to make the playoff every fucking year.
Yep.
At one point, does Penn State just dump them? Probably never now. If because they're just going to get in every single year.
Yeah, if you're perennially getting into the playoff, you can't really fire a guy. BYU and Arizona State. What a flip for BYU. Arizona State now favored in this game by 3 points, which I think rightfully so, really. Arizona State, you look at them, they have 2 losses on the year. Bad one to Cincinnati, and then another one to Texas Tech on the road. But coming off a win last week against Kansas State on the road. Kansas State's ranked 16th in the country at the time. And then obviously BYU coming off that loss to Kansas. Arizona State still in play here for a Big 12 championship game berth. They have 2 losses. And then you have Colorado with the 1 loss and BYU with the 1 loss. So they beat BYU here. They have a tiebreaker. And then assuming they beat Arizona the next week, I believe they get in. So big game here for Arizona State. They could possibly still get in the playoff, which is the fun. I think that's probably the most fun thing about the playoff system, honestly, is that conference champion is an auto bid. So again, even if you have a team that looks like they're going to lead the league the whole year, you can still get that team that sneaks in the conference champion, beats them, and then gets the playoff bid.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, I don't know. I'm just over the Big 12 talk. Just every single week, it's a different story.
Yeah.
No, in terms of this game, though, I do think I like Arizona State. I think that BYU loss is going to maybe hold over their head. I think they lose a step here. Then again, though, I don't fucking know because it's the Big 12. I'm just done guessing games in the Big 12.
It's fair. Speaking of, let's go to the next Big 12 game. Number 16, Colorado at Kansas.
I have a pick for this one, though.
Yeah.
Kansas wins.
Kansas wins. Okay.
You're going to give me like the 3rd straight week of Kansas +2, +3?
Yeah, I mean, they're 3-1 in their last 4. Their only loss is by 2 on the road, Kansas State, who, yes, I know Kansas State has dropped now more games than we probably expected them to, or they would have wanted to, obviously. But that's still a good football team down there in Manhattan. And again, on the road, you only lose by 2 points. Good omen as well. So they're rolling a little bit now. And let's not forget this Kansas team was talented enough to be ranked, what was it, 19th in the country to start the year?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, people know that there's talent on this team they can compete with and probably beat anybody in the Big 12. And yeah, I think I agree with you. I think Colorado is in danger here against Kansas.
They are. Again, though, who fucking knows? Obviously, Colorado has all the power on offense. So, again, if Colorado comes out and Shador's dealing, they'll take care of business. But Kansas seems to be the showstopper these past 2 weeks.
Yep.
So,
like I mentioned, Clemson bye week with the Citadel. Same with South Carolina and Wofford.
I'd love to know Citadel's week, like 12 or 13, whatever it is, matchup these last 5 years. Because I could have sworn they've played Alabama like 4 years straight.
It does feel like that.
I
say that, yeah.
Just see a Bama Citadel game and the spread's like 49.5. You're like, ooh, do I take that?
Yeah. The Citadel, there's not even a line on here for the Clemson game right now.
I thought I saw it was like 50. I can check right now.
Maybe, yeah.
Pretty sure it's 50.5.
No, there's not one for Wofford in South Carolina either.
I hate college football in this sense, man.
Yeah.
It's the end of the year and we have 50-point spreads for ranked teams.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. While you do that, other game to maybe look at, Missouri at Mississippi State. Missouri's favored by 7.5, which again, I think just shows that Vegas knows that Missouri has been bad all year. Like, you're only favored by 7.5 against Mississippi State, a team that has not beat anybody in the conference and has 2 wins on the entire year. Also, why the hell is Missouri still ranked?
Beats me, man.
I texted you like as the ranking show was on, they popped up Missouri at 23, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, how the hell are they still ranked? They have 3 losses,
and they're all brutal fucking losses.
Like, you lose South Carolina like by 4 on the road, whatever. That's one thing. But Alabama by 34-0, A&M 41-10. And then looking back, it's like they snuck out so many wins. Like Boston College, they probably should have lost that game. Vanderbilt can make a strong argument they could have lost that game. Auburn, strong argument they could have lost that game. Oklahoma was a goddamn mess. The second half of the fourth quarter in that game was just a dumpster fire, and they somehow came out with the win there. This Missouri team could be like, I mean, I don't even know at this point. You can make an argument they're probably 5-5 in a different universe. 4-6.
Is the committee just viewing them as like, oh, it's not really their fault? Brady Cook's just been like up and down hurt the entire year.
Well, that and then comboed with the fact that, I mean, let's not lie to ourselves. They're keeping them in the rankings because it looks better for the SEC teams that beat them. It looks better for A&M to beat a ranked Missouri. It looks better for Alabama to beat a ranked Missouri. Like, let's not pretend like that hasn't happened in the past. When we had the 14 playoff too, you'd find some SEC teams filing at the back of the rankings. Like, really, those guys are ranked with their 4 losses and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, they do that to, pump up resumes. It's tale as old as time. It's just different now with trying to get them in that.
Yeah, I mean,
team rather than
it's true. I don't know though if we're hanging on to Missouri like that.
Sorry, I'm gonna just read some comments.
By the way, the spread is 49.5 for Clemson.
Okay. Donnie Deal says that there's something about Shadur that he just doesn't trust. So I don't know what that is. I guess he doesn't trust Shadur. Maybe it's the chains. I don't know. Greg with 2Gs asks, is the guy with the stash of pooper?
A poop?
Poop? All right. Peter Porker is asking if Mizzou is making playoffs. He said, not a Missouri fan.
According to head coach, yes.
He said, not a Mizzou fan. Just curious. My sister who has 2 months left to live because that old cancer virus going around and wants them for her last wish. Well, Peter, I hope that Missouri can get into the playoffs for you, but I just don't see it.
If I were you,
write a letter to the committee.
No, if I were you, I'd sit her down. Photoshop maybe might be your friend. Say that your first round matchups against an Ohio State team. She's gonna be wondering why Devin Brown's in for quarterback at Ohio State. You just say, don't know what happened, but he's playing. Show her last year's Cotton Bowl film. They're gonna win. It's gonna be awesome. And she's gonna go out thinking, boys have a shot at the Natty.
Hell yeah. All right, that's the Peter Porker answer. Let's get back to football. Where were we? All right, Army, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's here by 14 at home. I love this for Notre Dame. Listen, I think Army might be a little bit better than Navy, but I don't think a lot better. So I don't have a whole lot of hope for them competing significantly with Notre Dame in this game. I think the NIU loss was a fluke. We said it multiple times. And Notre Dame really has just rolled ever since then. So they had the one maybe close call with Louisville, still got the win. So I like Notre Dame to win. I like them to win by multiple scores because Notre Dame, I think, is going to try and, obviously you always want to do this, but like they're specifically going to try and win games by as much as they can here the last couple of weeks to try and pump up the resume a little bit because depending on how the Big Ten shakes out here the last few weeks in the conference championship games, Notre Dame's going to look to get as high as they can in that seeding to maybe that 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, we already kind of fell for the academies once before with Navy. We kind of believed in them. I'm not going to do the same thing with Army. I agree with you. I think Notre Dame stomps them.
Yeah. Boise State's on the road at Wyoming. They're favored by 23. I mean, just keep winning. I don't really see it.
I think the team cares more about what G&T does than like actually winning.
Well, I think but on the same side, it's like, hey, this guy rushes for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like we probably win, right? Like.
Yeah, obviously, but then again, if you're Boise, you got to do everything in your power to try to get a Heisman there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, pedigree that adds to the program is a lot.
He's gonna need a lot of touchdowns though these last 2 because, like you already said, the odd makers are sucking off Travis. So.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, he's 4 away from 30. And I said it already. And he's at just under 1,900. If he finishes with 2,100 and 30 plus,
I think he needs 30. I think he needs 32 for it to become a close race. And I also think you need a Colorado win.
I don't know if I'm necessarily predicting that he does win. I'm saying like that there's no universe where he shouldn't win if he does that.
Yeah.
But
I think if Colorado wins out, Travis Hunter is going to be the next Heisman, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably. All right. Next game, Alabama and Oklahoma. Number 7 Alabama on the road to Oklahoma. Yeah, Alabama favored by 13.5. I thought about taking this one. I think Alabama does win by more than 2 touchdowns, but you never know. I don't know. Maybe Oklahoma can find something in the tank to keep it interesting, but I just don't see it.
No, neither do I. Oklahoma's a dead football team, trying to run. But
yeah, Texas A&M on the road to Auburn. They're favored by only 2.5.
Wow. Stay away.
Yeah, that is scary. That feels like just a Kansas game, like with Auburn. It's in at 4-6, 1-5 in the conference. 2-1 in their last 3, I guess, but one of those wins is against UL Monroe. So, listen, Auburn's played just about everybody close this year except for Georgia. I don't know if they've lost another game by more than 10 points. So, obviously, they keep games close, but at the same time, I don't know. It's still A&M, who's, I think, solid. I don't think they do the game. Let's put it that way. I think A&M does win, but I don't trust it. Finally, Iowa State on the road to Utah. Iowa State favored by 7. Iowa State also still, I believe, technically in the running to make the Big 12 championship game. Definitely not a guarantee by any means. Far from it. They're going to have to get some help as well to get in there, but they have a chance. So got to keep winning.
I think they lose this game.
I think they lose.
I never am comfortable with going to Utah at night. It's one of my it's probably the most underrated fearful places to play. I mean, Utah's jumping. I don't really trust Iowa State. I think Utah gets it done.
Okay.
I think Wilson season.
Alrighty. Finally, before we wrap up with the Week 13 preview, let's talk about our teams. So Michigan got Northwestern coming to town. They were by 10.5. Looking for some bowl eligibility. Who thought we'd be saying that about Michigan in Week 13?
Irrelevant. Program is all the way fucking back. Bryce Underwood to Michigan. We could have given him $20 million. I don't give a shit. He's coming. Now we're flipping LSU receivers. All glory to God. Michigan's just going to probably terrorize football for the next 4 years, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it's
Cloud9.
It's not Cloud9. It's just it's inevitable, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what we thought too when we signed Raiola, but
well, I mean, much better prospect, and also joining a much better team.
I'm just looking at records here. I don't know. I think Michigan says 5-5. Nebraska says 5-5. So where's the much better team at in that?
Well, we don't have a quarterback right now.
Oh, okay. My bad. We said the same thing last year when we went 5-7. We're like, we don't have a quarterback though.
Yeah, true.
Now we're 5-5 and begging for bowl.
Actually, it is similar situations. Talent wise, I think it's Michigan has.
No, I think it is. I think it is recognized.
It is also
with Underwood that he is isn't he one of the best prospects of all time?
I think he's the second highest quarterback ever.
Yeah, that's.
No, actually, it's funny to say that.
Nebraska
situation is kind of eerily similar in terms of coordinator issues. Is Kirk Campbell the guy? Hopefully they dump Kirk Campbell immediately this offseason. I don't think they will, which then it's, if Michigan has a slow start, might be doing the same thing that Nebraska did this year. I don't know though, but I know we're back.
All right. But yes, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
On getting Bryce. Yeah, that's big time for the program. You guys didn't need a quarterback. Anyways, Wisconsin, Nebraska. Speaking of Nebraska, this week in Lincoln, Nebraska's favored by 1.5. I don't really know how you can even write Nebraska as favorites at this point. Like to believe that Nebraska wins the game. Wisconsin's kind of reeling. They're playing a backup quarterback. They actually didn't know who their play caller was as of a couple of days ago because they just fired their offensive coordinator. Also, the same Wisconsin team that's coming off of a week where they had number 1 team in the country, Oregon, against the ropes. We'll say it we said it the last few weeks. Nebraska has opportunities here to win, and it's not like the odds are necessarily stacked against them by any means. You gotta go out and win.
We've said that against UCLA. Said that against USC.
I know we're being a dead horse, but it's still true week in and week out.
100%. I struggle to think Nebraska wins this game, if I'm just going to be flat out honest with you.
Yeah, no, it's to the point where it's hard to believe that they can even win a game.
Clyde's saying 10 in a row. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a lot.
We're not winning.
Nebraska's lost 10 in a row to Wisconsin.
Yeah, they've had their number for sure. Yeah. A lot. There've been a lot of good games, but
I hate to bring this up.
What year was you should have beat them last year?
What year was it? It was the Big Ten championship.
They lost 60.
I remember one of the Wisconsin running backs ran for 400 yards.
It was probably Monty Ball.
Also 24.
I think it was Monty. Yeah, they put up 70. I remember that game.
Yeah.
Wow, 10 straight.
Yeah, not good.
All right, I love Nebraska here.
Okay. All right.
Get some
180.
back.
Yeah. Well, we said that about bowl games too, and who knows what that's going to happen there.
Yeah.
I mean, I want Nebraska to win. I think that they absolutely should have a real chance to win. I'm not going to believe it until I see it. I have to see them win again before I'm going to believe that they can win games.
True. What time's that? 2:30?
2:30.
All right, so
I
it'll
will
start
be in
getting
attendance.
dark. You will be in attendance. I like Nebraska. Fuck it. Give me the points.
All right.
They're going to go to a bowl game this year.
All right. Sounds good. I fucking hope
Maybe
so.
Michigan, Nebraska, Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Yeah, that would be sick. a little rock hard ball bowl.
We might actually have to like go to that.
Fuck no, I'm not going to the Duke's Mayo Bowl. I'm spending $100.
We can cheer on our 6-6 teams.
Yeah, let's go, guys. Come on, woohoo! All right, a lot of just stuff in the comments here. A lot of Travis Hunter stuff. Greg 2G says keep the LSU slander down. And he said his winner this week, if anybody wants it, is Chiefs money line. So
who do they play? Wait,
Panthers. So yeah. So speaking of that, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to get into the Week 12 NFL preview, and then we'll eventually get into Rock Hard Bets and Kelly's Kiki rankings. But you listen to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dog Media Network at Culture Ball Dogs. We'll be right back.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12 plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
We should have them tweet for it from it.
We're live.
Huh? Okay. Welcome back to Rock Hard Ball for the Dogs Media Network at College Ball Dogs. Again, we're getting into the Week 12 NFL preview now. Again, if you haven't already, check out the social scroll across the bottom: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all those at Rock Hard Ball, at Rock Hard Ball Pod on all the platforms. Make sure you follow, subscribe, like whatever, so we can keep up to date with what we got going on here. That being said, though, let's get into the NFL slate. Again, we got Thursday Night Football going on right now. Browns are up 18-13. And they have the ball with 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. So Steelers in danger of losing one to the lowly Browns, which wouldn't be too good for their playoff seeding hopes. Let's get to Sunday, though. We got an NFC North matchup between the Vikings and the Bears. Noon on Fox. Bears are going to be Vikings are favored by 3.5 on the road in Chicago. I like the Bears to at least cover here, and I think I would take them to straight up win.
Jameis Winston just died.
Oh, no.
Fuck.
That's not good.
Continue.
I don't want to see Jameis die. Oh, no, that's basically what I was saying. I think the Bears, obviously, they're reeling a little bit probably after that loss to the Packers in brutal fashion. But I think that the Vikings, like we have mentioned, like the luck's running out. The signs are there that this isn't a very good football team. I honestly think that, like, obviously the Vikings are 8-2, Bears are 4-6, but I think the Bears still actually might be the better football team here. So it's at home. I think the Bears win.
Yeah, obviously we'll get to rock hard bets later. I'll just say I like the Bears to win this game outright. Obviously last week sucked if you're a Bears fan. Seems like this whole year sucked. There was something finally about that game. Defense looked a lot better than it had against Arizona. And then finally, that offense didn't look dead. Caleb Williams decided, hey, I can finally, escape the pocket and actually just run for 5, 6, 7, maybe pick up a first down, which was huge. They looked like they were both. Obviously, losing that way is brutal. But also, I just don't trust the Vikings. I don't think they're a very good football team. Going into Soldier Field, give me the Bears.
Clyde, you want to share any thoughts on the Bears this week? Or
the The Bears we're probably gonna win. Like I don't want us to win. Like I really want us to lose out. That'd be fantastic because it'd be a little cherry on top.
Why?
Chicago's in like the shit hole of sports world right at the moment. Like everyone says that Chicago sucks more than Detroit for the last couple of years. I'm gonna keep riding it until next year. So
Well, it's a different
yeah, I mean,
Detroit sports were bad for the last 10, 12 years. They have the best football team in the world right now.
yeah,
It's a little bit different. If you're a Bears fan, I don't think you want to lose out. I think Eberflus, no matter how many more games you win, unless you fucking
still gonna get
win out and win a
fired.
playoff game.
Yeah.
I think if you guys go 9-8, I think they fire Eberflus.
Yeah.
I think it's been very clear he's not your guy. They made that mistake last year. I don't think they're going to do it again. I don't get what does losing out do to you?
I mean,
Give you another fucking piece. You guys have enough.
I mean,
pieces.
no matter what, we get a first round tackle, which they'll probably do the bare minimum. But
Oh no, I'm not a Bears fan. I just don't understand why you'd want to lose out.
I enjoy watching like Bears football. It's just
You're 2 games under. Let's get frisky.
yeah, but that's not how the Bears work. Like it's either you win like fucking 5 games in a row and you're like, holy shit, we actually have a shot, or you like win 1, you lose 2, you win 2, and then you're just like, oh man, this is fucking awful. But I don't really know what's going on. I mean, Caleb's playing a lot better now. O-line is still very, very bad. I mean, they fucked us with the Packers and ended the game.
It was
Fuck
bad.
straight.
It was not terrible though in terms of all game. Caleb
Yeah, no,
finally had most time.
It was good.
I would think that was more indicative of Green Bay's D line is struggling at the moment. But
I mean, we also got bailed out just like one play with the Love interception to no one, which
whoever plays Green Bay, you get one of those. That's the Green Bay experience.
You get one. But would I like to see us win? Yeah, I mean, I'll cheer for my team, but it's not going to do anything because it's the same team. I feel like everyone's looking forward to next year.
All right.
Yeah.
Get the mic from this depressed guy. What's chat going on about these?
They're still just talking about Travis Hunter's piece. So yeah, we're not talking enough about it. They're saying that the Heisman should be just decided on who has the bigger hog between Hunter and Weezy. I'm just not going to get into that. I'm not going to silence the commenters. I'll say what they're saying, but I'm not going to get into it. So Clyde says it's G2. So
I mean, look at the guy who's bigger.
Yeah. Well, he's short. He's short as hell. Give me Travis.
So is Travis.
By 2+.
all right. I'm not confident.
Gene seems like 5'9".
Yeah, he's a fucking unit, dude.
Also, your dad sending you a text about recruits Bama. So,
yeah, Michigan's trying to flip their number 1 offensive tackle. Probably going to.
Okay. All right, back to the games. Patriots Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 7.5 at home. I probably would have liked this line for the Patriots almost anywhere but Miami, but I feel like just 2 in Miami usually performs really well. They looked good last week, so I think the Dolphins will win this game. I don't know what the spread ends up being when it's all said and done, but I wouldn't be shocked if Miami wins by a couple scores.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't like betting against Drake May.
Yeah.
But you're right though.
At least
Miami this time of the year. I don't know if they cover the 7.5 though. We'll see.
It could be close. Buccaneers and Giants. Giants gonna be at home. Bucks are favored by 6. Got Tommy is back.
Tommy's back. Mike Evans back. This just screams disaster time for the Giants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the weirdest thing is the whole Drew Lock was the backup in the entire year, and then they're like, yeah, let's bring the third string in to start now that we're done with Daniel Jones. Like, this is kind of weird.
It's NFL quarterback situation. I don't get it at all. You see Daniel Jones is
playing safety
at practice today. Fuck yeah. Do you just release him at this point?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna trade, especially like you've played this so terribly, like in terms of the whole making him the fourth string quarterback now and like letting him play safety at practice. Like, you kidding me? Like, don't do that. Like, I think it is kind of like sad too, like from Daniel Jones' perspective, because they said like the benching was like only because like the injury clause, like they don't want to take a chance on that because like they know they're gonna be done with him. But he like offered. He's like, I'll structure my contract to like take that out. He's like, I just want to play. And they're like, no. So it's like kind of depressing.
Yeah.
I just want to play ball, and they just wouldn't let him. Maybe that's why he's playing safety. They're like, you're not playing quarterback. You're not touching the ball there. Tell you what, though, you got to run around safety, see what happens.
No, I mean that's just a dead team, pretty much. So, give me the Bucks.
Peter Porker is saying, "Don't silence us." We're not silencing you. I mean, Weezy straight up gave you an answer on who we think has the bigger piece. I've been reading the comments, so I don't know why you're
kind of a scum for not giving your answer here.
Yeah, you guys split.
I think it's pretty obvious. It's Travis Hunter. Like,
okay, there we go.
I think it's worth the discussion. I think it's worth the discussion.
What do you want censorship?
All right, so we still got this going on in the comments. Greg 2G says Daniel's handed 9 feet and Dable didn't need more distraction in the locker room. Send him packing. He's kind of getting out of control. All right. Peter's asking now if I have a small piece. He's mad that I'm silencing the comments, even though I haven't silenced them. I don't know. Okay, back to the games. Cowboys and Commanders. Commanders at home, favored by 10.5. Feels like a lot for a team that's still very young, rookie quarterback. But I mean, the Cowboys are a dumpster fire. I really don't think 10.5. It just feels like a lot anytime in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I'm just holding on piece day by day. When are they going to shut down CeeDee Lamb? I still need him for fantasy football. So, Jerry, please keep continuing to play him. They won't. Give me the commies by 10.
Okay. Chiefs Panthers. So big play there from Greg with 2Gs. Said Chiefs money line.
It's a sharp look.
Could be a sharp look. I would love to know what that actual line is.
Like the money line.
Yeah,
minus 650.
Trying to look here. It's taking a minute. Minus 700. So
that was close.
Yeah, that was pretty close. But yeah, Chiefs by 10.5. Over under 42.5. But yeah, Chiefs obviously win the game. I don't know. Maybe the Panthers keep it somewhat interesting, but I don't know.
I got nothing from you.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have a real though question here. Who do you have, Rizzler or Kevin G?
I'm a big. I like the Rizzler more. Also, sorry, can we just hit pause real quick? There's doorknobs and stuff going on. I like the Rizzler though more.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm gonna go. Also, now he said Kevin G plus 300 might be a sneaky lock. He might be talking fighting terms here, which I think I would even more.
Clyde is begging for the mic.
What do you want the mic for?
Have you guys seen the Goodfellas clip where it's like so the Rizzler's real name is like Michael or something goofy?
It's Christian.
It's Christian. All right, so Christian. So I've seen clips everywhere of the scene where they bring him into the back. He's like, "Oh, what's going on?" Yeah, and they shoot him in the face. I've seen a million of those. The Rizzler shooting Big Justice in the face.
Yeah. So for context, for those who don't know, they were on some stream, and Rizzler's like talking about like how there's a Walmart, and Big Justice goes, "Oh, what are we gonna do at the Walmart, Christian?" And Rizzler just gives him the nastiest look, like the all time, just like, "I was really starting to like you, Big Justice. Like, why don't we take a walk?" Yeah, no, he's taking care of business. But yes, I do like the Rizzler over Kevin G. I don't know, Kevin G is pretty fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie. Especially when he gets on there and he's like, I'm sorry if this sounds weird, but when he gets on there, he's like crying. He's like, "Guys, I'm not dead." It's like those kill me every time. But however, in a fight, I think the Rizzler is. It's over. I mean,
his center of gravity is just so interesting to me.
Kevin G also is like legs don't work. I'm serious. Well, I'm being realistic here. If we're talking fight, I think he has like osteoporosis. I think that's what it's called.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, like he has like very weak bones. Like it'd be Raps. It would be Rizzler like minus 4,000 at the
again. I just don't know if Kevin G has the force to bring down the body shape of the Rizzler.
Yeah, it's a very round boy. Very round young man.
But I also think he's kind of like a turtle on the back of a shell. The Rizzler goes down. I don't know if I have faith in him getting back up.
Yeah. Okay. Greg with 2G just said, "Just unsubscribe. Don't disrespect the Rizzler." I don't know where we disrespected the Rizzler. I feel like we just kind of sucked him off. I feel like we were just glazing the Rizzler there for a good 5 minutes. Am I wrong?
Fuck Kevin G.
Oh, good point from Jerry here. Land battle goes to the Rizzler. Kevin G is very agile in the water. He does have that clip of him just kind of slicing through the water in the pool. Yeah, again, if anybody hasn't seen it, you gotta go look it up. Getting down to the real, important things here.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do another one here before we get back to games. Beetlejuice for the Rizzler. I'm assuming we're still talking
Beetlejuice by a lot.
I don't know, man. Rizzler's compact, dude.
Beetlejuice is getting up there in age, dude. Beetlejuice, come on.
Is Beetlejuice still alive?
Yes.
I thought this came up the other day when I was
It's
talking.
a yearly thing. They say he dies.
Okay.
And he always say, "I'm not dead."
Beetlejuice dead. Yeah, I think he's still alive.
Yeah. No,
I
Beetlejuice
think you're right. Yeah, he does like die like once a year. We kind of just all go. I don't know. I think the Rizzler might still be. Might have a good chance. He said Beetlejuice kind of old.
Yeah, he's old.
He's also like super stupid.
Well, his hands aren't stupid at all.
It's true.
He sees red. He can't spell it. He sees it.
That's like, hell yeah. Peter Porker says, "Show us Clyde." Clyde, you want to pop in the camera for a second? All right. There's Clyde saying hello to the people. All right, I'm gonna get a couple more NFL games here. Then we can circle back to some comments again.
Fuck, is this a sports podcast?
Yeah. No, we'll get through. We got at least get through the Sunday games. Titans and Texans. Texans favored by 7.5. Feels like they absolutely should cover that. Same time though, the Texans have been a little up and down. Kind of struggled at times when they shouldn't really feel like they shouldn't have.
I mean, yeah, but they were banged up. Like in terms of obviously they had struggles. Obviously, you cannot lose that game to the Lions. They do. It was a big bounce back again. Again, Titans. I don't know where the hell they're going. Give me Houston.
Yep. Broncos Raiders. Broncos will be favored by 6. Bo Nix coming off the best game of his career so far. They just stomped the Falcons. Do you think they maybe come down to earth pretty fast now, or do they keep it rolling?
I think the Raiders give them a scare. I think Denver ultimately wins it. But again, the way that they took care of business against what I would consider a good Atlanta team, I think maybe they do come back down to earth a little bit, facing the number 1 tight end in the nation. Keep putting up points for my fantasy team, Brock. We love you. I think the Raiders keep it close.
Cardinals Seahawks. It's in Seattle, but the Cardinals are going to be favored by 1. Again, we'll get to rock hard bets later, but I do like the Cardinals here. I just think that they're, I think the rosters overall are probably fairly similar in talent level. I just, at the end of the day, I think Kyler Murray is a much better quarterback than Geno Smith. I think that's kind of what wins out here. So I'd like the Cardinals to win on the road.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona's clicking, playing great ball. Kyler's probably playing the best football ever in his career, I would say.
Maybe that, whatever, they had 8-0 start. They did really well that year. But
McBride looks great. Arizona looks great. I like Arizona.
Eagles, Rams, Sunday Night Football. Eagles are going to be favored by 3 on the road at the Rams. Very torn on this game. I think it's really a toss up on who wins. I think the Eagles, obviously sitting at 8-2, have been playing a little bit better lately than they were earlier in the year. But at the same time, I still just don't really fully trust them on a week-to-week basis, combined with the fact that the Rams, I think, are kind of back and clicking a little bit. I get that they lost the Dolphins a couple weeks ago, but before that, they won 3 in a row. They beat Patriots last week. Nakua and Kupp are both back and firing all cylinders. Kyron Williams has been good all year. I trust Matthew Stafford. So again, very toss-up issue for me, if that makes sense. I don't know. But Rams at home, I think, is going to be the slight edge for me. I think they win close.
I'm going to slightly disagree here. While the Rams on offense, obviously, are going to put up points, I just don't trust their defense. Jalen Hurts has finally not turned the ball over every single game. So I like it to be a shootout, but I think Philly gets, last laugh.
Okay. Then finally, Monday nights, Ravens at Chargers. Ravens going to be favored by 3. I don't know. I think, again, primetime games this week are super fun. Eagles, Rams, and Ravens, Chargers, I think, are both going to be great games, both in LA. Ravens coming off that loss to the Chiefs, though, Steelers. I feel like that puts a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. But again, Chargers at home, they've been playing well. I want to just slightly lean Ravens, which is kind of what the spread says, is Ravens -3. But again, I'm going to go toss up again here on Monday night, but I guess I'll slightly lean Ravens.
I'm going to go Chargers again. Playing great football, another primetime game. Real scare last week, obviously, but Herbert's been playing awesome, and give me Jim Harbaugh.
Okay. And then I guess another update on Thursday Night Football before we get to rock hard bets. Steelers up 19-18 now. 3:32 left to go in the game. Steelers have the ball, try to bleed out the clock. So they're down now. We'll see if they can get the conversion. But let's get to rock hard bets for the week.
Teams.
Oh, our teams, yeah. You know, earlier when I was going through them, I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to forget them this time." I literally made like a mental note of it, and then forgot. All right, Lions.
You can
bet
go
noon. We can. Okay, I don't care.
Up to you.
Okay, we'll just go. Time order. Lions bet noon against the Colts. Also, this one's kind of more of a snooze. Got the Colts favored by 7. I mean, the Lions have just beat the shit out of bad teams this year. I think they do the same thing again this week.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of how much do they win by?
Yeah, not very exciting. Anthony Richardson
looks good. Credit to him.
He does this week.
He's due for a few turnovers.
Yeah. You think 3 or 4?
I think 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. So 3.
Okay, sounds good. And then Packers at home versus the Niners this week. Packers coming in at 7-3, Niners at 5-5. Packers will be favored by 3, which I think is a pretty fair line. Honestly, like if there's any other team other than the Niners with the exact same resume, exact same team, exact same way they play, I would easily say Packers win this game and cover. But for some reason, the Packers kind of have just a weird thing with the Niners where they have a tough time beating them. So I think per usual it'll be a little bit of a dogfight, but I do think the Packers are going to be able to pull this one out at home. I think that they have the better quarterback, and I think the rosters are close enough where the Packers win out here at home. How do you feel?
I'm going to go reverse. I think San Fran has not been great. Obviously, they finally have gotten some health back with CMC. Green Bay scared me last week. I mean, they got 0 rush on Caleb Williams at all. Rashawn Gary should be getting home more. The D-line should be getting home more. They haven't. So I like San Fran by a slight margin here.
Okay. All right, now let's go to rock hard bets. If I can get to it. All right, so this is this week's rock hard bets. You can see the full board right there. They're the records. Weezy obviously having a slightly better year than me, but we're both over 500, so
barely.
It's good, barely, by a game. But hey, over 500.
You're fighting.
Yeah. I've just been basically the same spot all year. It's like early on it was just constant like 3 and 3s, and then now lately it's been like 1 and 5, 5 and 1, 1 and 5, 5 and 1. Anyways, Ohio State minus 10.5. I mean, obviously we both have it, but I like it a lot. Again, I think Indiana's a solid team, but I think Ohio State is still, significantly better where they win by a couple scores. Illinois money line, talked about it earlier. Rutgers obviously been a solid team. They're at home, but I do think that just overall, Illinois has them outmatched in a lot of spots. So I like them to win there. Notre Dame minus 14. Again, probably put a little bit too much faith in both the service academies early on. I think Notre Dame beats them pretty bad, but we'll see.
Also, Ohio State. Again, I don't know what to think. Indiana really hasn't played a soul yet, so I don't really know how good this football team is. They have an impressive win against Nebraska. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna lean Ohio State. TCU Arizona over. I don't love the feel of this. It's a little high, but TCU, I don't know the exact number, but I'm pretty sure they're averaging 37 their last 3. While Arizona is struggling offensively, I know they have the talent there, so I'm gonna hope TCU carries the weight there. But I'm gonna just take the over and pray. And then lastly, Kansas plus 3. I hate this bet, but give me another Kansas plus 2, plus 3. I'm just gonna hammer it this time.
No, yeah.
On the other side, I'm just gonna flip sides. I think Kansas.
Now that you took it, I'm sure they'll lose by 40.
Yeah,
but
probably. Travis Hunter and his piece are going to go for probably 2 touchdowns, 120 yards.
Looks like we have a Bears fan coping in the comments. 2009 Jeep Grand Cherokee said Green Bay is not good. Bears suck, and they beat them on a prayer missed field goal. I get it. Yeah, the Bears do suck. They're a poverty franchise, and I'm sorry that you have to take out your anger on the Packers. It happens, but sorry about it. Happens. And then Brandon Franskin in the comments said the Huskers will beat Wisconsin this weekend. So a little late for the college, but nice to see we have somebody have some faith in the Huskers. Brandon, you missed it earlier, but yeah, we're not too confident in Nebraska at this point in the year. But we're gonna hold out hope. We're gonna root for the Huskers, but I just don't really know. I said earlier I'm gonna believe it when I see it in terms of Nebraska winning football games. So, anyways, it's NFL. Texans minus 7.5. Again, it makes me a little bit nervous because they've been a little up and down. However, the Titans are horrible. Will Levis means himself every single week. And the Texans still a much more talented ball club. So I would like to think they win by at least 8 points. Cardinals money line. Again, they're technically favored by 1, but I figured just as well put money line there. I think they're the better team overall in Seattle. So even though it's at home, I think that they get the win. Then Bears plus 3.5 matched to there. But I feel like that's the easiest pick on the board this week for the NFL.
All right, I already mentioned it. Lions. It's just a matter of how bad that murder is. Probably 45, right? Gibbs probably scores 2.
Yeah, I wanted to take Lions minus 7-2, but I was like, I'm not going to take 2.
Really
With you. Yeah.
I'll hop on Bears 3.5 again. Bears, in every which way, deserved to win that game last week. They should have won that game last week. Bullshit last play happened. They don't. The only thing that scares me is if like that team's totally shot. Obviously,
yeah.
Hail Mary, block field goal, just the worst ways to lose a game. They've done it in 2 out of 3 weeks? 4.
Yeah,
4, I think. And last one I mentioned before, Raiders. Denver. You beat the shit out of a good team, especially as a young team. Bo Nix has the best game of his career. Give me the Raiders sneakily make this a game.
Okay. All right. Well, that's this week's record bets. We'll take one more quick commercial. When we come back, we'll have Clyde take you guys home with Kelly's Kinky Rankings. So you're listening to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. We'll be right back.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12 plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
Oops, wrong screen. But yeah, Clyde, you're up for Kelly's Kinky Rankings.
Intro video, baby. No, give me the intro.
Oh, this is okay. Yeah, go ahead.
No, give me the intro.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot. My bad. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
In a world of politics, war, bad beats, and watching your favorite sports teams come up short, sometimes you just need to hear a guy rank random shit. Enter your hero, Colin Kelly, here today for another edition of Kelly's Kinky Rankings.
All right, so we're doing so like if I was a 5-star, where'd I want to go? Like currently, where do I want to go? All right,
5-star quarterback, right?
Yeah, 5-star.
Just clarify.
quarterback.
Okay.
All right, this one's gonna be kind of a
Hell
reach.
yeah.
This is
Hell
kind of
yeah.
a reach.
Right off the rip. Come on.
All right,
And yes,
this
you,
is-
baby.
this
Come
is-
on.
This is kind of a rip. All right. So NDSU, Trey Lance, he didn't really pan out.
Not in the NFL,
but also
got that bag.
he did get a shit ton of money, but the opportunity wasn't really given. 49ers, Cowboys, they both suck. Really garbage franchises as of lately. So, you know what? Maybe it's not their fault. Carson Wentz, though, that guy stayed healthy. He'd probably be top 3 right now still. So, NDSU, if I'm a 5-star. Yeah, I mean, it's the best potential when it comes to, being a good quarterback in the NFL.
To be fair, a 5-star would probably never ever go there, but
Hell no. If I was a 3-star, though,
oh yeah, absolutely.
But
Yeah.
5-star, it was QBU for quite a while. So I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm gonna consider that.
So number 4.
Number 4, Ole Miss. So for me, it's something about just white boys throwing the deep ball. The girls are awesome in Missouri and Mississippi. I'd love to play there. Yeah,
All right.
great atmosphere. My father fucking hates Ole Miss. He went there for one fraternity thing. Never went back ever since. Probably reason why. But when it comes to QBs, I mean, what's his name? Is it
Eli Manning.
No, the one that's better. Chad Kelly.
Yeah, did
Wouldn't
he go
that
there?
be,
Yeah,
wouldn't it be the guy? That is
I don't know.
almost.
I don't know how good he was at Ole Miss. Yeah, I don't really know for sure.
Oh wait, it's a guy.
That's him. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, Chad Kelly. Yeah, Chad Kelly. He's so cool. Yeah, I want to be him. So yeah, give me there. Ole
Yep.
Miss.
Number 3.
Number 3, now about the Tide. For QB room, I'm thinking if I'm a 5-star, I'm going to sit for 3 years, and then I'm not going to play my senior year. I'll probably get cut, and I'll just be a student. But Tuscaloosa, baby. Not about the Tide. I get free tickets to go to the basketball games.
Sidney Thomas goes to school there. It's a big plus.
Wait, is Sidney Thomas like our age?
Yeah, she's like 20.
Oh, dude, that's
Puts you in a blender there.
Jesus Christ, dude. I thought she was like 24, 25.
Nah,
Really?
she's like 20 or 21, yeah.
Okay, I'll move it up a little bit more.
Good call.
All right, that might be 2 or 1.
Yeah, no, she's like currently enrolled there.
Because if I'm a 5-star, I'm not playing football, so it gives me more Sidney Thomas time.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I'm put that at 3.
All right, 2.
All right, 2. Oregon. I don't really give a shit if I play. I just want to wear jerseys. I just want to keep the cool jerseys on the sideline.
I feel like Oregon's like you can't go there out of high school as a 5-star. You have to go somewhere else and then transfer in after you're like 24.
Yeah.
It's kind of the current vibe right now, right?
Why do you keep saying you're not going to play? You're a 5-star, not a 3-star.
Well,
In
no,
every
'cause
single
I'm-
place you're saying you're not
No,
going to
no,
play.
I'm being like realistic though. Like I feel like a good amount of 5-stars don't really pan out at these schools where it's like they have depth. So like Ole Miss, I'll play, especially with Jackson Dart leaving. Bama, probably not if they don't like me as a person. And then Oregon, Oregon. I mean, it's Oregon. I'd probably play year 2. Or it'd be like Mr. Boise State and play no time and get shadow banned. So,
All right.
actually, wait. Let me add more to Oregon. So their QB's leaving. So if we're talking about current time, I mean, I don't really know who's Oregon's backup.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly, I think it'd be the best opportunity for me to push my little Heisman run. So yeah, give me there.
Board up. Who number 1?
Number 1, Auburn. Just I feel like Auburn has been a shithole for the last couple of years. And me personally, if I was a 5-star, I would change football. And I would be the next Cam Newton. Everyone would call me White Boy Newton. And I would win the Heisman my freshman year.
All right. Was Bo Nix a 5-star? Do we know?
I don't know. But I remember he was also, a little Auburn boy.
Whatever other place you're not playing at all. Auburn, you're the
Auburn-
senior day 1.
Auburn, I feel like, I mean, SEC play. Auburn has a lot of talent. It's just I don't know how the fuck they don't win games. Like I don't know how they don't. So put me in that situation. I will throw it to the right guys. Coaching regardless. I don't know anything about their coaches, but
Not good.
they're not good. But I put it in my head. I mean, those uniforms are so sweet. The atmosphere is sweet. It's a great college, good atmosphere. If I'm a 5-star, I want to go SEC, but I want to play QB somewhere I can play. You can make a push for Auburn. I mean, Auburn's it's one of those good ones where it's like it could be an upset or they'll lose by 40. It's like one or the other.
Where did Nebraska fall in these rankings?
Actually, no, I would never want to be a QB here. Those are the 90s? Yeah. No.
You could be the savior, though.
No, that's what Dylan was supposed to be. And
He wasn't saved, though.
Heinrich Harburg is my savior currently. So give me Dylan year 3 if he doesn't leave next year. But for Nebraska, I'd put him probably top 10 just because I'm a student here. But for like QB career and like depth, fuck no. No. It's all about the run game, baby. Yeah. So yeah, I'll put it Auburn 1. All right.
Yeah. Thanks. All right, Kelly. I don't know what to think about these rankings. I don't know. A lot of the logic didn't make a lot of sense. Really,
No.
It's like
I told him 5-star on
in there.
purpose. Of like, you're probably going to play right away.
Yeah.
He immediately says, all right, I'm
Probably,
probably
right, probably not gonna play.
All right,
Like
what-
thought, especially at Bama too. He's like, he's acting like he's the star like of Alabama. He's like, yeah, like I'll be hanging out with like the chicks like that. He's like, but I'm not playing.
Then he went on to say, yeah, probably my senior year, I'm just going to be a student.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's my time to shine. I'm done. Also, I looked up. Good thing about Auburn. Only a 2-hour and 40-minute drive from Tuscaloosa, which is where Sidney Thomas goes to school. So yeah, she gets double points for
Well,
that.
you're a 5-star. You can probably get a flight there every weekend.
That seems like a ridiculous.
No, some funder.
More money than I would
Yeah, no, some millionaire who's a alumni of Alabama.
pay for Sidney Thomas.
Yeah, yeah. He needs his quarterback.
That makes sense.
Sleeping great.
All right.
hard to sleep.
Sleeping, I hardly know her. All right, that's probably about it. Yeah, for today's episode. I don't know. Do you have anything else to add before we go, Bees?
Nope.
Clyde?
I should have put Boulder.
All right, Clyde says should put Boulder. I don't know why, but
Juju.
I don't know what this guy's on about.
yeah, no, we're done. Thank you guys all for tuning in to today.
Any new comments on the show or?
Jerry says that Around the Horn is ending. So
I did see that. Thank
we're
God.
up
That
next.
show sucks.
Thank God.
Jerry says we're up next he said viewership should skyrocket.
I don't know. We did go on a 5-minute tandem of Travis Hunter's
Peace.
Yeah. So
Basically Around the Horn.
I don't know if that'll cut ESPN's criteria.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in today. That's going to do it for us, though, and we will see you guys on Monday.